The story of a precious little soul. Saint Therese is one of the most beloved saints of our time. Her humble and pure soul is both attractive and inspiring. The heart of Saint Therese comes alive for us in her autobiography, which begins with these words. It is to you, dear mother, that I am about to confide the story of my soul. When you asked me to write it, I feared the task might unsettle me, but since then our Lord has deigned to make me understand that by simple obedience I shall please Him best. To understand Saint Therese and to fully appreciate her humility, holiness and wisdom, it is important to understand how her autobiography came about. Saint Therese, at that time Sister Therese of the Child Jesus, began to write her story when she was 21 years of age, just 3 years before she would go home to heaven. She began to write out of obedience to Mother Agnes of Jesus, the superior of their Carmelite convent in Lisieux. Mother Agnes was actually Therese's older sister Pauline, who had been elected Mother Superior in 1893 and served in that role for 3 years. Sister Marie, the oldest sister to Sister Therese and Mother Agnes, was also in the Carmelite convent of Lisieux. One day in January 1895, the 3 sisters were enjoying recreation time together as Sister Therese was sharing some of her childhood memories. Mother Agnes recounts the moment this way. One evening in the beginning of the year 1895, I was with my 2 sisters Marie and Therese. Sister Therese of the Child Jesus told me several happenings of her childhood, and Sister Marie of the Sacred Heart, my eldest sister Marie, said to me, "Oh mother, what a pity that all this should not be written down for us. If you were to ask Sister Therese to write down her childhood memories, how much pleasure this would give us." I turned to Sister Therese, who laughed as though we were teasing her, and said, "I order you to write down your memories of your childhood." Therese and Pauline had a holy bond that exceeded even the ordinary relationship sisters often share. This bond was deepened with the loss of their mother when Pauline was 15 years old and Therese was only 4. Soon after that painful loss, Therese declared that her sister Pauline would now be her new mother. For the next several years, Therese and Pauline were very close and shared a beautiful sisterly love. Pauline also showered Therese with a mother's love. The 2 sisters were inseparable, and Therese regularly bared her soul to her new mother Pauline. 15 years after the death of their mother, Therese received Pauline as her spiritual mother in a new way when Pauline became Mother Agnes in the Carmelite convent. It was therefore to her dear sister and second mother that she began to write the story of her soul, and thus began to entrust this beautiful story to the whole world. Oftentimes in life we present ourselves in an exaggerated and misleading way. This tendency is a result of our fear of being judged by another. But imagine if you could share the story of your soul with someone else in a completely carefree way. How would your story read? Therese wrote in a carefree, trusting, open, and honest manner. She never expected that her memories would be read far and wide and declared one of the greatest spiritual gifts to the Church of all time. Rather, she wrote her story for one who knew her and loved her unconditionally. The story behind the story of a soul is important because it teaches us about trust and honesty. It illustrates the intimacy that we are called to live with others, as well as the fruit of that unconditional love. Do you have someone in your life with whom you can entrust the intimacy of your soul? Whom do you trust enough to do the same? Seek to build relationships of love that are so deep that you can confidently share the content of your soul.